You know, with the topic that a lot of you are sick of, it's very entertaining to me. It's a gossip story. It could be a Lifetime movie. But it was also a big part of my life for a long time, and it cost me a lot in my life in all facets. So I'm going to talk about it. And I know a lot of people, a lot of people come to the channel to hear about that exclusively, but a lot of people are also tired of hearing it. I understand if you're tired of hearing about it. I'm not. I still enjoy it. I'm still very funny with it. I still do a good job. And it gives me a chance to kind of talk about it in a way that I don't talk about it privately. It's a lot more serious conversation privately about how, especially with the 9-year-old being on cocaine, that makes me really pissed off and really angry. And I understand that a lot of the sweepers were clipping it and going, oh, he's faking it. I mean, if you've got that little of a heart, if you're that big of a sociopath, that me screaming after just finding that out, your first thing is, oh, he's faking it. I don't know. I guess that's fine. I don't know what I can really do for you at that point. You and I are just different people, I guess. But when it comes to talking about it, there's two big problems. One, I'm fascinated at how badly things went after I left. I'm just amazed at how quickly it went completely downhill and everyone just went completely berserk and totally to shit. And number two, this is very, common to me. The way that these people create dramas and disasters every few days. This is how it was hanging out there all the time. Nick and Kayla were at each other's throats about something every couple of days, to the point where their kids would be sending us messages. Mom and Dad are fighting and I'm really scared. And then, April would be yelling to me about something Nick did or something Kayla did. And then there was one time where they were yelling about me because I told Kayla that I read a couple of chapters from a book she gave me. Because she was having a tough day. I wanted her to feel better. I said, read a couple chapters from the book you gave me. And I was like 5-6 chapters in. And then I realized I had forgotten it at her house. So I hadn't read the chapters. A little white lie to kind of make her feel better. Not a nice thing to do, but fucking, Nick went fucking animalistic berserk about it. And that was kind of my first... not my first. It was one of my big readings. And April went apeshit because Nick went apeshit, so they're all losing their minds. Whereas Kayla and I are, talking about it. We're like, hey, I'm really sorry I did that. She's like, I wish you wouldn't do that, and blah, blah, blah. But, that was the first time I realized, people who are on coke are fucking insane. They just... And to them, but the problem is they're not kind of insane. They're, just a little amped up insane. And you're watching it going, this is clearly crazy. And if anyone who was sober was watching this with me, they would go, this is nuts. But when you're just talking to the people on coke, they feel like they're totally normal. So it's really a fucked up world to be in. So that was my big drama, was I didn't read a couple chapters of a doggy book that Kayla bought me. Kayla bought me a book called Proverbs. It was dog stories that related to Proverbs in the Bible. And she thought it was just a cute little play on words, so I read it. But one night, I said that I read 2 chapters to make her feel better about some shit she was feeling bad about. And I didn't realize that I had left it. That was the one night I hadn't read it. I left it at their house. And, of all the things that caused crazy drama over there, for that to be my big drama is fucking insanity to me. But... again, go figure. Go fucking figure. So, Nick and Kayla are fighting. April and Nick or April and Kayla are fighting. Or, I told April, hey, this cocaine thing's getting out of hand. You're a fucking monster, you piece of shit. And then I'm yelling back at her, and then we're, yelling at each other. It's really fun. Never mind. What I'm saying is, these disasters that are happening, Kino Casino watches these, and they're like, oh, my God, this is a disaster stream. And, oh, my God, more drama with this and that. Whereas I'm looking at it and going, yeah, you when I was hanging out there, you could set your watch to the next big drama. People who are on drugs are always very dramatic and shit falls apart really quickly. I remember just like really getting along with Kayla really well, or getting along with Nick really well, or everybody's getting along nice. And I remember I would go to myself, I would say, something really fucked up's about to happen. This is just how it's going to be. And then boom, Nick had Kayla down in the studio. Nick and April went to the school in the Mustang, and Kayla's upset because it looks fucking bad, which she's right. It does look terrible. Nick and Kayla are fighting about something, and, now April's mad because Nick and Kayla are, it's just insane. It's just bananas. And then it would end with some big over-the-top emotional quote-unquote solution, but nothing ever got solved. And then 4 or 5 days later, you could wait for the next big drama. And then I remember after I had left, Kayla texted me, was like, it's now it's a drama every 3 days. It's a disaster every 3 days. People are reading each other's phones. They're seeing what everybody's saying about each other, and they're getting mad at each other because they're all talking shit about it. Oh, my God. I remember I got a text from Kayla once. She's like, we're at an event right now. This is in April or May. She's like, we're at an event right now, and either she got a hold of Nick's phone, and this is really psychopathic, Nick gave her phone to show her what April and him say about her, and it was like really hurtful shit to her, and she texted me about this. And I'm like, that sounds fucking terrible. I'm like, now all those 3 people are living together. And we'll talk about this tomorrow with the April being on a hot mic with Nick while they were getting ready for his stream the other night, which I'll somehow be blamed for. That's the other thing. Like, these people are so terrible at taking responsibility. Whenever something shitty happens to them, I catch a message from somebody or I catch an email from somebody. They're like, oh, yeah, I talked to them and they blame you. For what? The kids getting caught with coke, and then people would email me or text me and they'd be like, by the way, I saw them here. I think it's really fucked up. People in town are talking about how April and Nick are out together. And I'd read that on the air. And then all of a sudden I'm this terrible guy who's stalking them. It's like people on drugs, again, are just remarkably fucked up. So I understand people are tired of hearing about it, but some people, they tune in just for that. I'll tell you this. Tomorrow we're going to talk about it. Apparently, I've got Nick so rattled, he goes into chat rooms with 150 people in it to talk about me. He's DMing supporters of mine who write nice things about me, and they go, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The only thing blowing up Aaron's notifications is Aaron. Like, he's accusing me of blowing up my own notifications. And this person never tweeted to Nick. They just tweeted about me, and then Nick DM'd them. It's getting fucking weird over there, man. Like, it's Hitler in the bunker. People are calling it the Baldo bunker. But, it's amazing. I've been gone for over 2 months, and things go wrong in their life. Blame the sober guy. Guys, eventually, someday, you're going to have to realize before you're locked in a prison that it might be you. So, anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But, yeah, I see all these shows talking about it. And I just go, guys, this was normal. It was just a disaster every 4 or 5 days. They went nuts,